Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Heavenly Boo Show. Uh, 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 I know what you're thinking. Where have you been? Why did you abandon us? Girl, you still doing a podcast? I thought you weren't doing a podcast no more. What happened? We ain't heard from you in 2 years, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 9 months. I don't know how long it's been, but I do know that I'm back and I'm better than ever. Y'all are in for a ride. This is the Heavenly Blues Show. It is no longer just a podcast. I mean, obviously it is a podcast. Like, you can hear my voice in your car or like as you are going for a walk. But it is a show now because here I am. I had to get ready this morning, which I never had to do for a podcast before. But hey, I am not complaining. I just wanted to get this first episode out because I told myself and I told the Lord, my God, Heavenly Father, that I was going to actually bring the podcast back, and I'm leaning on Him for His support. The elephant in the room is, why did you stop doing the podcast? What happened? Most people probably just assume she probably just decided that she didn't want to do it anymore, but that's not really the case. This podcast, it's a show now, but previously, it was a podcast. It has been in my heart, in the back of my mind for the last 2 years, and I feel like that's how long it really has been since I've been back. And I spent a long time beating myself up, just being like, man, I'm just not consistent. Why am I just so bad at being consistent with things? But girl, I was going through a lot. So I had to give myself grace, and it really took me this long to understand that I needed to take a step back and grow a lot and heal a lot to even feel like I was equipped to have a show, a podcast, or anything like that. Because what I went through was very traumatic, and for a while I was ashamed. I'm gonna be honest with you, I had an idea, literally notes of what I wanted this first episode to be like, but I just want to be as real, raw, and authentic with you guys as I possibly can. Back in 2020, I'm sorry. I did not want to just tell the sob story over and over and over again, and I know I'm stalling, but this will probably be not the last time I speak of it, but I just don't really want to spend too much time talking about this going into the new year. So since it is, what day is it? When you see this, it will be in the new year, January 1st. So I guess I will start the year by telling this story. But it is my testimony. This is where I've come from. I am the person that I am today because of it. As traumatic as it was. But I'm gonna stop stalling. Back in 2022, the same year that I started my podcast, I lost myself. I lost myself completely. And not just in a way if it was like, oh, I lost myself. No, like I actually mentally, physically, spiritually, like the entire being of me, Celeste Moody, was not me. Where do I begin? I think it happened. I don't know when I started my podcast. Hold on. I'm going to fact check real quick. Which is so embarrassing because a lot of the episodes that I recorded, I was manic. I was in a state of mania and I didn't even know it. What is mania? Mania is what bipolar people experience when, girl, the beginning of my podcast, I was manic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these episodes. Pretty much anything, if you go back and look at the old episodes, anything that says 2022 I was manic. Like the entire year. Mania is what bipolar people experience when they're going through something, or let me look it up. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't want to be spreading any false information. I'm just trying to tell my story. That's it. Mania is extremely elevated and excitable mood usually associated with bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed with bipolar 2. I didn't even know there was 2 kinds of bipolar, y'all. I thought it was just bipolar. No, there's bipolar 1, there's bipolar 2. Bipolar 1, you can tell when that person is bipolar. It's like 1 minute they're hot, the other minute they're cold. Bipolar 2 is different because even I didn't even know that that's what it was at all. Like, I didn't know that. I thought I was just me. I was never, like, as a kid, I was never diagnosed with anything, but it makes sense when I would think back to it and think back to, like, my behavior in high school. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Let's see. I was working at a restaurant, not so holy restaurant, if you ask me. I would be working very long time. Sometimes I'd be hungry, like, the entire time. So I was tiny. I've always been skinny, but I was scrawny. Like, I was sickly. Sorry. I feel like the enemy is trying to get in my head and be like, girl, nobody cares, but this might help somebody. I don't know. What had happened was I was very depressed. But the thing about me, I didn't know I was depressed because I'm bipolar. I didn't know I was even depressed. Like, I didn't know that. I was depressed, and I was living separated from my siblings. I was living with my dad. All of my siblings were with my mom. And so I had a new independence that I've never known before. Also, I had just gotten my 97 Ford Explorer that year. So I had a car. And this was new. Like, I had the freedom to go do whatever I wanted, and that was dangerous. That was so dangerous. At the time I was 18, I did spend my 19th birthday in the psychiatric hospital. Yeah, guys, I spent my 19th birthday in a psychiatric ward, like in the psychiatric hospital. Which I didn't know that that's where I was going, but I needed it. And now you can see why I was ashamed. Yeah. Where did it begin? I was crazy over a boy that literally did not want to be with me, but was like high key leading me on, you know? So me being a depressed gal that has daddy issues, of course, I'm holding on. That was my man. Literally, I was saving myself for that man, which is so crazy because he was in a completely different state and didn't want anything to do with me, guys. But what can you tell an 18-year-old girl who is foolish over a guy who moves away? You know? You can't really say anything. And like I said, I had a whole new independence. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing. So on top of being boy crazy, once I moved away from home, I got into tarot. Tarot cards, guys. I was into tarot cards. And I would watch a specific YouTuber who was doing tarot. I would watch her and I would go to her like she was my therapist. And I would watch those videos like religiously. Yeah, don't do that. If you are into tarot, I suggest you get out of tarot because it is actually very demonic. Very, very demonic. Get out of it. If you watch tarot readings, stop watching tarot readings. I feel like these spirits try to tell you what you want to hear so they can control the narrative. Go to God. If you need a therapist, go to a therapist. But if you feel like you need spiritual guidance, go to God. Pray. Please, I swear. Pray. Pray, 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 pray. Pray to the Lord, Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ will come and help you. Stop watching tarot videos if you're doing that. And I'm sorry. If you do tarot, no offense to you, but yeah, it cost me my life. So I can't do anything but advise people to not watch it. I'm sorry. I don't want no beef. But yeah, on top of watching tarot, I had got into crystals. I got into astrology, which that also, guys, come on. Ugh. That was terrible. I heavily relied on like astrology and tarot and everything like that to tell me what I wanted to hear so I could justify the actions of this dude who did not want me. Like I would see a video and it would be like, oh, divine masculine, he is like this, and that, and he's thinking about this divine feminine that's back home, and that, and I'm like, this is me. She's talking about me. She's talking about him. Y'all, it was so crazy. It's not funny, but it actually is. It was crazy, guys. It was actually absurd, and that is what I would use to like cope with the fact that this man actually didn't want me. But I was still like, because I was watching those videos, I was like, oh, he doesn't know we're actually meant to be together. Do you see how crazy that is? Do you see how crazy that is? But you know what? This is why when girls talk about being Delulu, like, oh, I'm Delulu. Or like when you have a friend that won't let that one guy go. And, it's like, there's just this whole delusional culture, like with the girls. And it's so dangerous, guys. Actually stop. Actually know your worth. Actually put yourself in solitary confinement. You don't have to actually physically do that, but just cut ties with people. Okay, anyways, I'm sorry. I went on a tangent. So let's see, tarot cards, crystals, astrology, the thing that made me lose my mind. I stumbled upon these pills. Now I know what you guys thinking. Oh my God, pills, you're a drug addict. Not at all. I, for one, like I said, am bipolar. I have bipolar 2. I didn't know any of that. I didn't know that I was depressed. I didn't know why 1 minute I could be so freaking hyper and then the next second I could be down. I didn't know why my head was spinning with thoughts. I didn't know why I couldn't focus. I just really wanted help. And so one day I was with my grandma. We went to this store, and it's the kind of store where you can just buy like, things that came from Amazon, but I guess people didn't want. So it was these pills. And these pills were called Awaken. Now, on the pill thing, it said focus, mental clarity. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I just found the solution to all of my problems. Like, if I take this, my ADHD won't be so bad. I looked up the price of the pills. Like, I looked them up on Google after I bought them. And I saw that the pills were selling for $100. And I was like, I just hit the jackpot. Yeah. Hey, I just bought $100 pills. Then they're going to help my ADHD. Wrong. So wrong. The instructions on the thing said, as an adult, you're supposed to take 2 capsules a day. Let me just also say that I was not going to any kind of doctor at all at the time. This is completely me just thinking that I found the golden solution to all of my problems. Lucky me. Keep in mind, I was not eating like I should be eating. One, I really didn't have much of an appetite all the time, but also I was working long hours at work. And sometimes I would literally only eat like a banana in the morning and then get to work and not have any food. Like, I remember one time I was starving so bad and I was asking my supervisors, like, please put me on break. And I felt cold, like my body felt cold. I was like more than just hangry. It was like I was like furious. I was gonna say hangry-rious. No, I was furious. I was just so upset because I was starving. But I digress. The instructions on the pill said take 2 capsules for an adult a day. Yeah, guys, I weighed 98 pounds at the time. Do you really think I should have been taking 2 capsules a day? No. But they did what they said that they would do. I don't know how many capsules were in there. I would say about 30. I was taking 2 capsules a day, every day. It's not like I was addicted to them or anything, but when I first started taking them, I realized that my mind got really quiet. I remember being at work and my coworker, like one of the first days, she was like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine, actually." And she said, I don't like this. You are not yourself." And I was just like, I can actually think and hear my thoughts. Like, I feel good. And she was like, "Okay." Y'all, I was not myself. I was not myself. Those pills wrecked me. On top of the tarot, astrology, I was in a whole nother dimension nearly than anyone else. I felt like I was connected because the pills are called Awaken. It forced like it was like a chemical spiritual awakening, right? Y'all, it got so freaking bad. It got so freaking bad. I will say that I was going to church with my grandma on Sundays, and I in the beginning I felt such a strong connection with God. Like, I felt like I could just speak to God, and I just knew him so well, and he was like my dad for me. I remember one day specifically, things had got so bad that I woke up and I did not feel God. I remember getting out of my bed, waking up, and actually feeling that God's presence was no longer there. Do you know how wild that is? And I remember thinking, because I had been so much into, I control my reality, all this into this, like, I was so dedicated to like growing and healing, and I was just on this journey of like, you control your reality, blah 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 blah, that day when I woke up and I didn't feel God's presence, I foolishly thought it was because I had grown so much that I no longer needed God to walk with me everywhere I went. And guys, I could cry. If I was the type of person to cry, I would literally bawl my eyes out right now. Because in no world, in no time, at no day, do I not need God to walk with me. I need God to guide me through this conversation that we're having right now. Me now would have been afraid if that was the case. But that day I was like, wow, I don't need God. I got this. I was so very wrong. Things got so bad. I started to lose track of days. I started to be so very impulsive, and nobody could stop me from anything that I was doing. I was doing stuff that had so much intention and so much meaning behind it, but it made no sense to anybody around me. There's so many stories that I have where I'll think back and I'm like, that was actually lunatic behavior. I was psychotic. Guys, I lost all the tarot, the astrology, the crystals, the pills. Guys, I was literally an open vessel for, like, I was literally the devil's playground. Jesus, I rebuke that. In the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke that. Y'all, it was so bad, and I was so spiritually, like, just open, and I didn't even know it. And so I was doing all of this stuff that was so bad, guys. So freaking bad. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. So yeah, it got so bad to the point where I was so damaged. I felt mentally, I was so damaged that at the very height of it, what sent me to the psychiatric hospital was the fact that I went twice. So I went to one that was local the first time because I didn't know I was actually having an episode, like a meltdown, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know nothing was wrong. I just felt so misunderstood. The second time, I was like, oh no, I need help. I couldn't see. I was so sensitive that even feeling the sun on my skin felt like I was burning. I felt like I was burning. That summer it got up to like 100 and something that summer. I felt weak inside and out. I was never sleeping. I could not sleep. I would literally lay down and not be able to sleep. And my mind would just be up, and I just would never sleep. The day would end and it would begin again. Like, you know what that does to a person? Nothing good. Let me tell you that. So, yeah, that's what landed me into the psychiatric hospital, 3 days before my birthday? Or 2 days before my birthday? I spent my 19th birthday there. I definitely have some stories that I'm not going to get into, but I really needed that. I really needed that. I want to say that if you feel depressed, if you feel suicidal, if you feel like a danger to yourself or someone else, seek help and do not feel shameful for it, because I did. I felt shameful. I was like, I do not belong here with all of these crazy people. These people are crazy. I don't belong here. I absolutely belong there. And if I didn't go there, I probably would not. I wouldn't have came back to myself, I don't think. And truth be told, I was out like the day after my birthday, and I still wasn't myself, but it did help a lot. I just really want to thank my family so much. My mom, I knew I was going through it, and my mom was going through it, because I've always been like my mom's right hand. And girl, how do you feel when your right hand goes numb and you can't get it back to itself? I'm literally her baby. Like, my mom was going through it so bad. Yeah, and I would love to thank my grandma, because my grandma really helped me to get back to the person that I am today. And I was depressed for a while after that. And I really stopped posting because I felt like, how am I supposed to make this podcast to help other people? And I literally just lost myself. I literally lost my mind. Like, how am I supposed to, I can't speak to people about how they should do this and they should do that and la 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 la. when, girl, you just lost your mind. Like, I just felt like people wouldn't feel like I was worthy to speak on anything, and people just would judge me so bad. But God has really, really, really healed me and strengthened me so much. And I think that maybe I was just waiting for a time to feel like I was truly myself again before I even thought about coming back and doing this again. But I realized that the first time that I started, the Heavenly Blues podcast, I was doing it in such a worldly way. And I don't think that that's what God intended for this platform. I don't think that that's what God had in mind at all. And because I didn't have him with me, like, yes, I got it started, but I was missing the key. I was missing the producer. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm trying to wing it. And so I just felt God say to me, like, no, I need you to speak. I need you to get back. I need you to make this happen. But I need you to do it with me. And I'm like, God, I got you. Speak through me. Please, speak through me. So yeah, I'm back, guys. This podcast is for you people out there that may be going through something, or you just feel like you need a friend, or if you feel like you know God or you know of God, maybe you're curious about Jesus Christ, and maybe you're just teetering, maybe you're a little bit lukewarm, maybe you don't really know, or maybe you know God, maybe you know Christ and you just want to hear, some more stuff. Because me personally, I love listening to testimonies and just hearing how Jesus Christ showed up for other people. And I heard a testimony the other day when a man said he physically actually encountered Jesus Christ, actually physically in person encountered Jesus Christ. And I think that is the coolest thing ever. So the Heavenly Blues podcast is for you people, whoever wants to listen. And I really hope and I pray that this year is just going to be filled with just good positivity, and hopefully I can just have a good impact or influence, and maybe I can be a friend to some people. And I'm really excited. I actually want to have more guests on because, like I said, I love hearing about testimonies. So it won't just be me all the time. Maybe I'll have somebody. Maybe if you want to be on the episode, you just DM me. Just reach out to me somehow. And if you have a story of yours that you want to tell, or if you just want to be on here to talk, I'm completely open. I'm sorry guys, my forehead is a huge distraction for me, but I'm not going to be picky. I really, really want to just make more friends, and I want to grow in this area. And I just want to have such a positive impact. And I feel like that's what God was telling me. It was just a constant reminder, Celeste, you might be scared. You might be anxious to do this. You might be anxious to talk about things. And you might feel like you aren't qualified to talk about this. But guess what, girl? This ain't about you. This is going to help someone else so much more than it's going to help you. So why are you worried about you? Why are you worried about whether you can do it or not? Whether you don't think you blah, blah, blah. Take yourself out of it. This is not about you. This is about someone else. This is to help someone else. And I'm really happy that I just started to listen. And yeah, guys, I don't think I have anything else to say for this first episode. Of course, the episodes after this is not going to be about me talking about that anymore. Like I said, I'm tired of talking about it. I mean, if you have any questions, I'll answer it maybe one day. But I really want to talk about different things, just around faith and just about like navigating life and trying to know Christ and learning Christ like through it, and just thinking back to certain moments or certain lessons that we've gone through in our lives where God was actually there, and just kind of reflecting on how Jesus has shown up for us continuously over and over again. I want to be a disciple. I want to be a disciple of Christ. And guys, please know that I'm not perfect. I struggle. I am a sinner. We are all sinners. We are all sinners. And if you think you aren't, then you're wrong. But guys, I just want to make this world a better place. And yeah. Please tune in. I will be uploading episodes every Wednesday. So if you'd like to hear more, please tune in every Wednesday. And yeah, share this with a friend if you want to. Or just, yeah, let me know what you think about it. Instagram for the show is at Heavenly Blues. You can also follow my personal Instagram at it's Celeste Moody, but there's a period after the C. Have a good day. If you enjoyed the show, please let me know somehow. And I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.